No DQ Galaxy, we are live with a recap of Friday Night Smackdown for June 14th, 2024, on the eve of WWE Clash at the Castle. Smackdown took place in Glasgow, Scotland. Now, the show did air on tape delay in the United States. It took place around 2 p.m. Eastern time, which was like 8 o'clock Scotland time, I think, 7 or 8, something like that. Anyways, let's get to the recap as we headed down the final road to Clash at the Castle. We kicked off the show with Naomi, along with Bayley, the women's champion, in her corner, versus Chelsea Green with Piper Niven in her corner. Now, before the match, Chelsea cut a promo. She said that Scotland will get to witness 2 crushing defeats over the weekend. We had the match, solid TV match. Crowd was singing, "Hey Bayley." They were loving some Bayley. She was out there at ringside. Back and forth match here. Chelsea needed a timeout at one point, and she got the upper hand. Then after the commercial break, Naomi started to make a comeback, and then Chelsea regained control. She tried to win the match by cheating with her feet on the ropes, but Bayley pulled off Chelsea's feet. Bayley and Piper Niven argued on the outside of the ring, and meanwhile, back in the ring, Naomi regained control and picked up the 1-2-3 victory. Decent opening match to start off SmackDown. Hot crowd, as you would expect in Scotland. No real surprise here, though. We had Baron Corbin backstage with Nick Aldis. Baron Corbin is a babyface now. He thanked Corbin for having a fresh start on SmackDown. Then Legado del Fantasma came in and they mocked Corbin. They made fun of him, basically saying that he's a charity case. And then Nick Aldis had a word with Legado. He said that they were lucky to even be in the building after attacking Apollo Crews, and they were fined. And Aldis warned that next time, a fine will be the least of their worries. And then Santos Escobar wanted a match with Apollo Crews, and that was set up for later. We had the Grayson Waller Effect. Waller was there with Austin Theory. They are the tag team champions on SmackDown. He made fun of Scotland, saying he speaks English. He doesn't understand them in Scotland. DIY were the special guests, and DIY was pushing the buttons, calling Theory Waller's secretary. Waller said he would take a bullet for Austin Theory. Now, of course, DIY showed the footage from last week when Waller ended up throwing Theory in the way of a dive. And then Waller said it was a fake video. It was AI. Ciampa wanted a title match, said the fans were there for a fight, but Waller turned down doing a title match. And then Johnny Gargano got on the mic, said he wanted to hear from Theory. He said that he has believed in Theory, and he thinks that Waller is using Theory. Waller took a cheap shot at Gargano. We had a big fight breakout. Gargano went to super kick Waller, but Theory took the bullet for his tag team partner once again. This time it was Theory saving his partner. And then DIY posed with the tag team titles. The plot thickens. I will say this. I think it's a good call to turn Theory face. Like, what else can he do as a heel? I think it's time. Even though I'm not a big fan of hot potatoing the tag team titles, I think DIY needs it, and then let DIY have a lengthy run as champions and get Theory off on his own. If you want to make something out of Austin Theory, I think it's time for a babyface turn. Just my opinion on that. We had the Street Profits and B-Fab backstage with Apollo Crews. They talked about how they can't stand the bloodline, and they told Kevin Owens that they have his back for later when Owens was scheduled for a match with Solo Sikoa. Then backstage, Chelsea Green distracted Bayley and Naomi. Blair Davenport was there just in a little brief moment, but Chelsea provided a distraction. Piper Niven came in and splashed into Bayley and Naomi, crashing them into the wall and leaving them laying. Now, you guys that checked out the No DQ predictions video, I think it's pretty clear Bayley is retaining the title here. Piper gets a little last bit of heat before the show. But yeah, she's not winning. We had Santos Escobar versus Apollo Crews. Legado del Fantasma was out there. They were interfering right off the bat. And this led to Baron Corbin running down, making the save, evening the odds. And then after the commercial break, Apollo started to build up some momentum. He was doing good for a while. But then guess what? Legado del Fantasma returned. They attacked Corbin. And then Elektra Lopez knocked Apollo off the top rope. And Apollo was reacting. He wasn't sure what the hell just happened. And then that was all Santos needed. Santos rolled up Apollo, got the 1-2-3 victory. Hey, Apollo got some TV time, so I guess that's better than nothing, right? Legado picks up the win. Then we had Cody Rhodes come into the ring for a promo, and I thought this was the best thing on SmackDown. So Cody comes to the ring. They're singing his song. A great crowd. I don't think they were at France's level, but they were still a pretty epic crowd. I mean, definitely better than most American crowds, maybe 90 to 95% of American crowds. I mean, they're one of the best. I mean, these international crowds are all pretty awesome. Like they just have that passion for WWE and for professional wrestling. So they're singing and they're chanting Cody Rhodes. They're singing Cody Rhodes' name. And then AJ Styles immediately interrupted with the OC. Cody Rhodes wanted AJ to come in the ring alone. So that's what AJ did. AJ got in the ring and they exchanged some words. And WWE had like this meter on the screen, the live and loud DBA. I guess the fans were really loud in the building. And they were actually chanting, "Shut the F up," at AJ Styles, which of course censored on the Fox broadcast, but on the European feed it came through. Styles said that Cody is a quitter. He's quit many times. And Styles brought up how Cody quit WWE in 2016, quit New Japan Pro Wrestling, quit Ring of Honor. And at this point, I'm like, is he actually going to mention AEW? Well, he kind of did. He said that Cody even started a company and he quit that too. Did not mention AEW specifically, but obviously that was a reference to AEW. I wonder why they wouldn't just let him say it. I think it would have packed a more powerful punch if he actually mentioned it. But anyways, the gist of this was that according to AJ, Cody cannot handle the pressure. And Cody's response was he's never been afraid to walk away to chase something greater. He didn't quit. He bet on himself. And if he did quit, he would have never been WWE champion. And if anything, Styles quit on himself. Cody said that Styles had to pretend to be Mark Henry for a night to get his title match. And Styles responded saying he's not going to quit being phenomenal. And he did give Cody credit. Beating Cody is not going to be easy. He gave Cody credit for Hell in a Cell, wrestling with the torn pec, but Styles made it clear he is going to do whatever it takes to win the WWE Championship. I thought Styles did a great job here. Cody did great. I'm not changing my prediction for this one, but I thought they had a very strong promo segment to build some final hype for their match at Clash at the Castle. Really enjoyable stuff. Like I said, I thought this was the highlight of the show. Street Profits were attacked backstage by the Bloodline. No Bobby Lashley. What happened to Lashley? He's just disappeared the last few weeks. Not sure what's up with him. We had a tag team video package, the women's tag team titles up for grabs at Clash at the Castle. And then we had the challengers, Alba Fire and Isla Dawn, come out there. They were interviewed in the arena. It was very brief. I think the whole idea was to just get them on camera in front of the fans, and they just basically vowed to make history at Clash at the Castle. Tiffany Stratton was at ringside for Nia Jax versus Michin, and this was a very basic match, but more or less an angle. Nia was sent into the post by Michin, and then Tiffany got in Michin's face, threw water or something in her face, and then Tiffany was thrown over the announce table by Michin. Michin got back in the ring. Nia took advantage and quickly picked up the victory with the Annihilator. Not much to it. Basically time filler. Maybe setting up Tiffany versus Michin. We'll see. And then backstage, Kevin Owens was interviewed. He said the Street Profits are unable to help him, but he's still going to fight. That's what he does. He will fight the Bloodline by himself. Footage was shown of Logan Paul, the United States champion, doing his Tetris tournament last weekend. No footage of him interviewing Donald Trump. Didn't think that they would go there. But yeah, they did show the Tetris footage, though. And then we had a segment of him arriving at his home in Puerto Rico, except LA Knight went right to Logan Paul's home. He flew all the way to Puerto Rico so he could swim in Logan Paul's pool and just chill out. And yeah, of course, Logan Paul was pissed, and he had LA Knight escorted out of his home. Then Carmelo Hayes cut a promo in the arena. He was actually in the crowd, and he mocked LA Knight, said that LA Knight thought that he was cooking, but LA Knight is actually medium rare trash. I'm not sure if Carmelo knows good food. Medium rare is usually considered the ideal temperature for a steak. I mean, what is he like? Well done? I mean, what's funny is I used to like well done, but then I realized that medium rare to medium is a lot better. Anyways, enough of that. Carmelo vowed to win Money in the Bank. Crowd was once again chanting "Shut the F up," and he proclaimed that he is going to become Mellow in the Bank. Then we had Nick Aldis backstage with the Bloodline. He said that the Tongas were going to be banned from ringside, and they would be suspended if they interfered. And then Paul Heyman spoke with Solo Sikoa, and Heyman said that if Solo loses, Solo's going to lose his leadership position. And Solo responded by saying that if Heyman is wrong, or said Heyman is wrong, and if he loses, he's coming after Paul Heyman. So a little warning to Heyman. We then had our main event of the evening, Solo Sikoa versus Kevin Owens. Owens pandering to the fans with the Scotland 316 t-shirt, and Owens was immediately stomping a mud hole in Solo and walking it dry. Solo fled to the outside. Owens went after him, and then Owens came off the apron with a frog splash to the floor. But after the commercial break, Solo gained control. He sent Owens into the steel steps, worked over Owens for a bit. Owens fought back, but then Solo regained the upper hand. Then it was back and forth. They traded super kicks. Owen hit several of them, came off the top of the cannonball, and then a swanton bomb, or not off the top of the cannonball, off the top of the swanton. Solo kicked out of that, and then they were on the apron. Owens was back, body dropped onto the apron, and after that, we had another commercial break. For the final segment of the show, Solo hit the spinning solo, but we had a kick out, and then Solo went for a second one. Still could not put Kevin Owens away. Match continued, and then Owens hit a stunner, but Paul Heyman put Solo's foot on the bottom rope because what was said earlier, Heyman had to make sure Solo did not lose. He was scared of Solo. Owens, of course, went after Paul Heyman on the outside. Solo took advantage with a Samoan spike. He got Owens back in the ring, hit another Samoan spike, and scored the 1-2-3 victory over Kevin Owens. Now, after the match was over, we had the Tongas immediately show up. They went right after Kevin Owens since the match was over. Owens was in trouble, but then Randy Orton made his return after being gone for a couple weeks. Randy Orton came out there and he fought with the Bloodline. He gave the RKO to Tonga Loa. Solo Sikoa was able to escape. Orton and Solo stood tall to wrap up the show. All in all, it was a good SmackDown. It was some filler. A few segments were pretty good. It was a taped show. Crowd was hot, so I'm trying to balance everything. I think I go a B-. Like, I enjoyed the show, but I don't think it was necessarily a must-see SmackDown. Decent build-up for the pay-per-view. I'm very much looking forward to that. By the way, just so it's on record here, I did change my bonus predictions. I think CM Punk is going to interfere in that match, Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest. I'm not sure if we're going to have him. I thought about it, and like I was thinking SummerSlam 97 when Shawn Michaels swung the chair at Bret Hart and hit Undertaker. I could see something like that happening. So I still think Drew's winning the title, but I think CM Punk's going to get involved. And that was a bonus point. We'll see CM Punk show up during the match. And then the other bonus point was Broken Dreams. Like, they teased it during the kickoff event. McIntyre mentioned Broken Dreams. So I think he's going to have a full entrance with that song to go old school. Anyways, guys, thank you all so much for tuning in tonight. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up on YouTube. Spread the word. And I will see you guys around 5-ish, 4:30, 5-ish. Probably 5-ish. I mean, I could see this, 2.5 to 3 hours, somewhere around there, 4:30 to 5-ish Eastern time. I'll be on here to do the recap of WWE Clash at the Castle. And of course, No DQ will have live coverage, so stay tuned for that. Take care, everybody. I'll see you all next time, and say yes to NoDQ.com.